think that Casio and Lee Sin should be winning out of the gate. I think they don't even have to outscale. I think if they're in an even state, they just win mid jungle again. And that is also a problem that, yes, Rice and Veo can do a lot, but not really into Cassia de Sin, because you can't really one-shot Cassia after level 3 because she has her W, of course, she's building a lot of HP. One-shotting de Sin isn't easy, and that's what they need to do to win in mid-jungle, right? They CC lock one target and then just run it down. That's really hard to do against that Killer Queen Glory duo. So I think it's going to be really, really hard for them to play mid-jungle again, and if the mechanics and the execution go similarly, where Glory and Killer Queen even have an advantage in that case, it's going to be incredibly hard again for Team Secret to play this. And then that should enable Vid to just free scale on the Jinx. Once those 2-3 items come in, he should be shooting. And Killer Queen is going to be spotted.
Yeah, we see. Killer Queen will be spotted. There is vision down in the Team Secret jungle, so they will be able to deduce somewhat where Skewed is at some point, but as it is right now, he has the potential to make a play through just clearing bot lane and clearing bots through this bot side jungle and going down into the lane if Team Wales push up a bit too much. And we can see they have pushed it very aggressively. Want to hit that early level 2. With the Flay, Suha shouldn't really be able to achieve all that much. But there we go, hook online for B.
Generally something for those Thresh lanes. There are two really distinct Thresh lanes, right? There's the Aphelios Thresh and there's the Jinx Thresh. Aphelios Thresh, usually that lane that wants to fight you. They want to fist fight you. Aphelios with the range gun or with his guns all around, just really strong and can always find advantages. Jinx is very different. Jinx wants to push, because Jinx, with her rocket launcher, is basically one of the best pushing AD carries on that early levels. So that's how Jinx plays the lane. She just walks up and pushes the entire time. You don't hit enemies, you don't care about enemies, and all you do is push, and we can see that already.
Okay, Glory got a little bit hypey, I think, and tried to dive Artifact, and it didn't work.
Yeah, I want to see what happened there, but anyways, in bot lane, everything is fine, and the Jinx is gonna be your main carry, right? So Cassio doesn't matter, smiley face. But that really now changes the matchup as well, right? And what is Glory?
Yeah, lands the poison and tries to flash to get some extra fangs in, but quick response from Artifact.
But he's playing into Phase Rush, and he doesn't have Phase Rush. He's never catching. Okay. Pressing tab is not that easy, so we give him benefit of the doubt that he didn't see. And in top lane, you said it, Nagia already taking names on that case Hunter, even in the VR matchup, and even here we can see that he uses that early bounce that he's given to just shove in and force the VR away, even with jungle on his side. Vit now in bot lane.
Vit now in a bit of a bad position, but now trying to escape with Killer Queen in the area. If a hook lands, that could spell the end for Eddie. Killer Queen's gonna just try and shove out the way, but kept in place by the feathers. Really just aggressive trading, trying to get this wave to crash. But missteps could... Okay, nothing's gonna actually happen. But bit of a kerfuffle. And a lot of things blown by Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie loses his flash in the end, Vit doesn't, which means, there's a flash advantage on this Jinx, and Jinx is just safer because, again, the Jinx just wants to scale, the Isaiah Khan, they want to find something onto her, and now Skewed is in mid lane. They might be looking for Glory. He doesn't have flash.
He does not. They have a lot of damage, and Skewed can go on the tower. He's going to flash away. The Overload does not hit, so Glory is going to get out very narrowly. And with that sustain, should be okay. Should be just fine to stick around. Maybe bait Skewed in for a repeat. Especially with B lurking.
B is nearly here. They could be looking for Artifact as well. He doesn't have flash. Remember, now Skewed doesn't have flash either. B backing off once he sees the Viego still being there. because Zhuo is also showing up, so both supports just being here to help out the mid laners, and TPs are out for both mid laners, so Glory really needs to have the reset here. They need a shove out, and Skewed and Zhuo know this, but Killer Queen as well.
That's just going to be a quick push down there, but the kills are coming in quick. Killer Queen gets taken down and transformed. Glory just dodges into the Sonic Wave. And now Skewed picks up 2 and can convert that into a quick dragon, and that's a much better start for the side of Team Secret than game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. They now have the game gold advantage. They have the Drake, and they get much better in this game. And it's again Killer Queen just going a bit too deep with Glory not really having any HP. It's really hard to play this. B wasn't in position either, and that meant everybody was collapsing onto the Lee Sin. We can see it here. Lee Sin is coming from the upside, but it's really hard for B to join this, and he has to even flash in to get anything else. Then Glory actually survives for a pretty long time, but the Lee Sin pickup and the word already in the bush means that Skewed is actually able to close to Glory and ends up killing him there. And then with the Cassio, it's really easy to take the Drake because Cassio, of course, has massive DPS on objectives.
Yeah, so right now, it's a good lead for Team Secret. This mid jungle working out in their favor this time around. Glory has now hit level 6, so the playmaking potential has been increased. Artifact will turn away, just as I call it out, essentially.
I mean, you said Glory isn't really a Cassio player. He's showing that so far.
Yeah, he's got two games in it on his career. I just checked. They are both wins, but okay, here comes the round one.
Into mid, yeah?
And there is almost no hope for Glory here, as there's just the quick 3. And no, the push isn't enough from Team Wales to counter it.
Yeah, but again, mistake from Glory. 1, of course, he blew his ultimate, which would have helped here. And 2, why is he even flashing? I mean, he's definitely that there. Not using his flash would have been a huge advantage here in the coming fights towards the next Drake, and especially towards the Herald, where he wouldn't need that flash probably to find an ultimate, for example, or to get away from that engage. So again, small mistakes from Glory that we didn't really see in the last game, and that means he gets outclassed by Artifact so far. Artifact getting great into the game as Ryzen so far. He has basically lost 1v1 all the time, but he's always tried to find something with this team and played really well around timers and waves.
Yeah, so now Team Wales are going to try and catch out Team Secret with this rotation, moving the bot lane up to this top side. It's not going to be red just yet by the side of Secret, and this should result in a pretty quick herald for the side of Team Wales that they can probably convert into a quick tower in the top side.
Yeah, and especially getting gold into Vit here can be so important because he's definitely the linchpin to open up the game, because who's realistically going to get onto him? Yes, maybe the Rakan gets onto him, but then there's the Thresh Lantern. You have to get deeper, and there's no real follow-up, no high movement speed champions that can just follow up and help out Vit. So it's really hard for them to get onto him, to get something from him. And I think he will be definitely the player to dominate the game if he gets that gold. It's always Jinx. 2.5, 3 items, and she dominates. And we have to see if she gets there uncontested. Of course, in a 1v1 against Hero right now, she should be probably losing.
Yeah, this is also what feels nice for Vit this game is there's not really a big front line you feel the need to build a Lord Dominic's Regard into, so can get straight into that Infinity Edge after her Zeal item and go for these sort of more fun items like the Bloodthirster to keep herself alive as well. So they're gonna try and collapse onto Skewed and Suhao, but no, they're out of there. Glory not quite fast enough without those boots, and the passive has to of course scale up, because Cassio can't buy boots. Nagir's going to take a bit of a beating, but that's to be expected in this current assignment.
Yeah, I mean, they're just sending Nagir down here and basically telling him, get as much as you can. We don't really care about you. Your case hunter, you're going to be strong anyways. And on the other hand, we want to have more gold into our Jinx. And now we can see 3 people in top lane actually putting some pressure onto the Jinx, trying to deny her some CS at least, making sure that she doesn't get ahead freely. because again, she is now the strong part. It was the Casio, it was the Lee Sin who could have dominated early game, but misplaced in the mid jungle who actually prevented them. And great team play also from Zhuhao, always being there for the fights in the right position. Means that the mid jungle duo didn't go too well for Team Wales, and now they're backing up and they're moving towards Vid on that Jinx to carry them. And another Rise ulti.
Glory's gonna survive this one, just uses the ultimate as a means to scare them off, but you already see the lead come through and materialize. That Rod of Age is already complete for Artifact. Still in the works for Glory, so gonna be delayed ever more. Now Artifact having full control of this river means that Vit can't really go up and pressure that tower and try and break it as he would want to. So Team Secret sitting pretty right now. Haven't extended that gold lead any further, but they're not falling behind as Dragon is now set to spawn.
Yeah, now it's their win condition. Now it's their Drake to stack. And what is all?
Nagia teleported to top lane. Hero still has his.
Yeah, I mean, I think they decided to give up this Drake. I mean, right now, I think the Casio, in a wave, just wants to reset to get the Rod of Ages as soon as possible. So she's probably going to use the Drake timer to just make sure maybe you're sending in Killer Queen to get a steal for you. And now they're posturing, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Hero can't really TP without losing massively on top lane. And Killer Queen now gets flash in mid lane.
Yep, and the kick straight into the hook. That should be donated pretty comfortably over to Glory. Killer Queen's going to escape on the top side of the play, and that is exactly what Team Wales needed to revitalize their play right now, as Vit's going to get 1v1'd as Eddie has a full Gale Force.
Yep, Gale Force diff for Eddie here coming out, punishing greatly, and that now means the Drake is probably still going over, even though he got killed in the mid lane. Killer Queen is pretty low, and now we see the play again. Killer Queen forces the flash with his ward jump, now has the kick flash to get in, and then W from Glory. He gets flayed back into it as well. Artifact just can't get out whatsoever. He gets run down, and now we see Vid walking into River, and that's just also a mistake from him.
Yeah, just walking blind into Desire, and once that route lands, that's pretty much done.
And also because you should have known that the team kind of gave up river control going into mid lane, right? They're moving out towards top side, especially Killer Queen. So full river control was over with Team Secret. There could have been Zhuhao on Rakan as well. They could have been skewed on the Viegos also. I think him stepping up, just big mistake from him. Not respecting, but still, now you got your Casio back into the game. She has a lot of ages now as well. Yes, 3 minutes after the rise, but the question is, are those 3 minutes really going to change anything? And the answer is probably no. Or it's really hard to force something in those 3 minutes. So once Casio finds her next item, which she probably still can at a similar timer as the rise, because she doesn't buy boots, so those 1.1k gold just don't exist for her, means that she is probably going to get her 2 item power spikes, very similar with the rise.
Yeah, that's definitely seems to be the case. Now, it's going to be shortly that the placings are going to go down, and we're seeing a lot of pressure happen in the bot side. Vitz losing out on that 1v1 with Eddie, and now Eddie's just going to go for it again. Oh my god, this bot diff is going to be huge, and now Skewed is here to kill B. And there's very little this Thresh can do. He played it about as well as possible, and now Killer Queen's here. He's going to try and do something, but Artifact holding off Glory, it may help out in the long run. It's a decent ultimate, and oh no! Glory dies and Skewed gets to get reset. Viego gets to exist. I hate this champion. This champion is so fat.
I think we kind of all do, except if we're playing it, and I love to play it, so I don't hate it as much. Eddie just 1v2 dove them.
Yeah.
Eddie's he did it. Like his Rakan isn't even close. He just walks up, sees B, doesn't care, kills him. This man has balls of steel.
Yeah, it's of course the Jinx buffs haven't come in yet. And probably wouldn't have helped either way, but just narrowly dodging the hooks as well from B. That Eddie played it so damn well. And Killer Queen and Glory get one back, but they're just not able to get anything done. Eddie didn't get stunned there. It wouldn't have mattered with the cleanse, of course, but Yeah, but interesting. And they're going to get a Herald, but that's pure consolation at this point.
I mean, it's also so close in bot lane, right? Because if Skew just dies 1 second earlier, then he doesn't get the kill onto Glory, then Eddie dies as well. You probably get double Triumph onto Glory. He survives Artifact as well, and you run that guy down as well, and the game is completely different. So that one alt attack that was missing to kill the Viego just changes the entire game, maybe. But still, both teams have a chance to win it. I think in 1 minute 50, we will really see, and we will also see how Nagia can get into the game, because so far, no play was played with Nagia. He was just laning isolated against the Fiora, which he kind of doesn't want to do. When you're playing against Fiora, you usually want to impact the map, you want to impact team fights. He really couldn't do that until now, and it's now necessary to see how he can impact the map, because if he's now getting into those team fights and can build advantages for his team, it's going to be really easy, because if he, for example, gets to Eddie, even though he's 3-0, just will not win.
Vic is just taking a beating. He is... Eddie just walks up in half health and every time. Just can't seem to dodge.
Do you think it's toxic to say, how can you lose to Eddie in lane?
I mean, yes, but also it's Vid, so I'm not actually surprised.
Yeah, I mean, like, losing to Eddie in teamfights, fair enough. I think he's a really good team fighter, but in lane, just not the strongest player, and it really hasn't been Juha. Usually, when we see Eddie succeed in lane, it's often that Juha just finds great angles, but Eddie just in the 1v1 finds massive advantages. Again, he dove 1v2 and won, and I'm just really surprised that he managed to do that, and positively surprised, obviously. And if he can pull that through, and if he can keep it as clean, it's very good. And now we're involving Nagia by sending Killer Queen top.
Yeah, and there's just so much CC. The all-out does come through, and Artifact will be taken down, and a pressure placed upon this top lane tower. Should be a bit of gold. Shouldn't fall down, of course. It's still full health, but that is a bit of gold and a bit of relief to the side of Team Wales to try and open up space and contest this third dragon. Perhaps Rift Herald as well going to be an important part of that. But I'm worried about this 80 carry diff. Zeddy is getting close to those quick blades, and Vit still trying to piece together a Zeal. Yeah, but you half health yourself to all out. You run the risk of a hero happening.
Yeah. And also, I think he was caught out on the recall, and hero just runs him down afterwards. So, great hook there from B. As we refuse to see what is happening.
We don't get to look at it, but yeah, hero does fall down, and that is a much needed kill over to the Jinx. Ultimate not available, and third Drake soul point to the side of Team Secret, so they're not gonna complain too much, our Team Secret, but it means in 5 minutes, Team Wales has to get as much gold as possible and try and find that fight.
So we know two things. One, Drake Soul is really important, and again, it's Infernal Soul, so that could really impact the game. And two, our observers hate Drake, because they want to show the Drake, and we see the hook again. Great hook here, then the Casio ulti lands as well. Hero doesn't really get anything with his W, and it's Vit who picks up the kill with the ultimate in the end, which is actually important, because yes, Glory with gold can of course do a lot, but you need Vit in this game. You need him to exist, and so far he had a really good game. He was funneled resources, and then he got gapped by Eddie, and now, oh no.
RFC.
So
not a fan.
not a fan whatsoever. Especially, okay, if you play against low range comps, I can maybe understand it, right? But you have 3 melees, a Ryze, and a Xayah. You're outranging the enemy team anyways, even without Rapid Fire Cannon. Why are you building Rapid Fire Cannon and not just Phantom Dancer?
Not Phantom Dancer or Runans. Yeah.
Yeah, like he legit decides to not deal damage and have more range, not dealing damage. Like what? This makes me unhappy.
I can only go on a cost reasoning, but I don't even actually know if that is true.
I think it costs 200 gold less. I think it actually does cost a little bit less, but also there isn't anything spawning, right? I mean, they're probably not gonna rush very immediately. So like 200, 300, even 400 gold doesn't really matter in this game state, because you probably end up getting that anyways. And yeah, so he I mean, I'm just hoping the next item is not going to be that something like a GA, and I mean, they're going to make me eat my words. They're starting Nash immediately, and they have a lot of damage.
They do have a lot of damage. The rocket is enough to sort of scare them off. They definitely don't want to be caught in that pit, and we're just sort of seeing a bit of trading back and forth on the bot lane. Not really much to be done. Nagia shouldn't die to Hero, though it is a long lane for Hero to run down, but
I mean, at this point, also Nagia can't win, though. I mean, like, yes, he's probably not going to die because he is too tanky to really be killed. I mean, Hero probably runs out of mana before Nagia dies. But at the same time, he's not going to win against Hero from this point onward. Hero has 1.5 items. He's going to have the priority, but Nagia is really going to try to fight Hero on this.
Yeah, he's definitely just going to try and make him regret stepping up at least. Okay, going to go for the all-out. Now should have the damage, but Zhu Hao is here. Can he actually get it done? No, he cannot. But I think he would have won that 1v1. So I'm going to call it worth for Nagia. It's straight on the top side. Artifact once again getting bullied. And now seeing the presence on the bot side, Team Wales are going to just try and turn onto this Baron. Skewed can get into the pit, though. This is very dangerous.
Hero is probably going to recall NTP towards this Baron as well, and I think that is kind of what Team Wales wants to have. They want to get this TP and get out, and we're seeing that disengage now.
Yeah, and that's a huge ultimate coming in from Glory. It's not quite enough though. Skewed gets that reset and gets to start off, and now Viego gets to do Viego things. Glory's going to do his best, but there's no real chance, and they go one by one into the grinder, and Team Secret will get this Baron as a reward. Yeah, okay, Team Secret gonna do well this time.
Mabi?
Yep.
Why did they run in 1 by 1?
Good question. Why?
I mean, like, if we look back at this, okay, B dies, right? And now you try to get out some damage. Like, why is Vit...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they didn't try and turn on Zhu Hao off, who was separated at least, but yeah. It just jumped to the grinder. It's...
Like, just walk away, like, B dies, well, shit, we walk away. Like...
Yeah, that's, yeah, it's Viego Gaming. If one person on your team dies, congratulations, you've lost the whole fight.
Yeah, but they decided to lose the fight, so
they decided to lose the fight a lot worse. I will agree there. But and now with the Baron in hand, Team Wales really doesn't want to lose this dragon, but it's kind of hard for them to win this being down so far. It's going to take a big overstep, a good hook, and perhaps a catch on to Skewed. But best item in the game is there. They are going to actually, maybe, possibly, yes, they pick it up, but the damage is done. Everyone else just dies. Vit gets run down, B as well, and that doesn't matter that you killed Viego, because Eddie got to free fire.
Yeah, I mean, they played well, right? It's they get the catch in the first place on Team Wales side, but the stopwatch buys enough time for Team Secret to just turn. Eddie gets to free fire, Artifact gets to free fire, Hero gets to be in the fight, and yes, you get the first kill, but it doesn't really change anything for you. And on the other side, I'm still asking myself, you were right. I think they should have picked Viego. They should have picked Victor.
Yeah.
Cassio wasn't the play, because if we look at the Cassio ulti, it's like he goes into like what is?
Yeah, he does it after the stopwatch has already come through, which is yeah, it's not good.
No, it's really
bit of a poor game from Glory this time around, but you have game 3. You have game 3.
We have game. I think we can already start kind of talking about game 3. I think even with the possible play or team div that we saw in game 1, I don't think it's winnable anymore. There are too many damage threats on the side of Team Secret. Top, jungle, mid lane, AD carry, they can all at this point carry the team fights. And Zhu Hao, of course, with shields, with heals, and the CC, does a perfect setup for his team, for his carries. And if you kill one, We saw in the last fight, it doesn't really change anything for the rest of the 3 guys. Now,
yeah,
Joao ulti is out.
You can see
which
that.
Makes it possible to dive. Yeah, which makes it possible to dive in top lane harder, for sure. But the 10k gold again probably just wins you the fight anyways. As we see Nagia. Nagia?
Nagia is stepped very far up. He's going to get out, and that is a pretty decent hook, and they're going to convert it. A kill onto Zuhao and a big hook onto Artifact as well. Can be find a third. They're just going to lose their base in the meantime, though, as Fiora is going to just push down the base. And Team Wales, you have to respond to that. You got your 2 kills. You're done. You're happy. As the base just falls apart in the meantime.
I guess Nagia is just the best baiter in the universe. I mean, he was baiting that for his life, and somehow we get 2 kills. Both though onto Killer Queen, who at this point really isn't the carry that you want to have any gold on anymore, and rather you want to have it on Glory, you want to have it on Vit. But it definitely shows that you can play teamfights, especially with Miasma, that basically locked down Juhao. We can see it here, and then Juhao is the reset for the Jinx. Jinx gets her boost, get excited, yeah, and just runs down the enemy team all around. And now we see that both teams, remembering last game as well, had those small mistakes in front of the enemy base. For Team Wales, that was in mid lane, now for Team Secret in top lane, and they just have to make sure to not have those too often, because again, as in the last game, we saw Eddie on the Zeri being able to nearly carry the game. Similar things are true for Vit and Glory in this game, who both scaled very nicely.
Yeah, we see now Glory has completed the Rylai's. Will be able to provide a bit more utility, a bit more options for Vit, who in turn has completed that Infinity Edge, so will actually start to be doing a lot of damage. Still a full item behind Eddie, of course, who has now got that Lord Dominic's and Rapid Fire Cannon of his own.
And to just make it clear for the viewers, the Rapid Fire Cannon on Xayah actually makes a lot of sense, because she is getting outranged, and she wants that extra range to get over Miasma and such spells. So for her, it makes sense. Just to make sure, I don't hate Rapid Fire Cannon, I just hate it here on the Jinx. Oh.
Yeah. Looking for it. Oh, that's a good hook, though, and they're going to not get anything, because Heartbreaker is OP.
But I think trading B's ultimate for Heartbreaker, I think is completely fine for Team Wales here, and that is definitely a spell that I think for Nash is still gonna be missing. And SQ has a really weird item build that I haven't seen in a long time. He just rushed GA second, wants to make sure that he just, if he dies, if he gets caught, he just revives and maybe gets a reset, so his team trades him out, and then he gets a reset. Once he gets out.
Eddie and Zuhao going in very aggressively. That's going to force the teleports out of Team Wales. There's Glory going to be a little bit sore, as Hero did a lot of damage to him, and now Hero kills. We get 2 screens of that. Hero killing Nagia. And the rest of Team Secret going to turn onto Baron with that Infernal Drake. That is just basically gone. Hero is living forever. Hero is living forever. I don't know what to say about this. Okay, Hero's just
nah. He legit 1v5 because he used his ulti. He used his ulti on Glory, who TP'd into mid lane, killed Nagia, and then went 1v3, killed 2, then went 1v2, killed another one. This guy just, okay, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, okay. That...
No, I respect it. I respect it.